finally got the presentation going. My name is Trey Ho, member of the Atlanta chapter of Phi Alpha. Alongside Jordan here today, we're going to have our forum based around the effects of hip-hop lyrics on our youth today. So we're just going to go through about 10 songs, give you the lyrics, a synopsis of it, and then its relation to today. And at the end of the presentation, if you have any feedback or have any input on lyrics as well, we'd love to hear from you. So since we're going to be doing lyrics, we are going to use a little profanity, so please be mature today and we'll get through this how we need to. All right. So the first song is Old Town Road by Lil Nas X. I'm sure a lot of you heard this song. The lyrics go, riding on a tractor, lean all in my bladder, cheated on my baby, you can go and ask her. So the synopsis for that song is, speaking on the use of promethazine cough syrup as a drug of choice, while also stating that he cheated on his girlfriend, this can in turn be interpreted as a way to deal with the pain in two different ways. In relation to today, purple drink, also known as Dirty Sprite or Texas Mud, was originally popular amongst Houston artists, but has now become a staple in hip-hop. It provides the user with a zombie high where you slouch or lean uncontrollably and can be fatal if taken long enough. According to the National Drug and Alcohol Research Center, cocaine-related deaths increased from 3.5 million in 2000 to 8.7 million in 2009.
Okay, the next song is pretty popular by a popular artist, The Baby, Suge. So I'm out with your girl and I only want knowledge. She got a little mileage, I'm chilling. So you disrespect me and I'll beat you up all in front of your partners and children. You've also seen The Baby. He's been in the news and on the Shade Room. He's been in a little trouble lately. But this idea of sexual acts with another person's mate is clout chasing that we see today. So we're starting to promote this as sort of an impetus of pursuing someone else's. We're seeing a modernized version of the Willie Lynch letter today, where we create dysfunction in the family dynamic so that we will turn against ourselves. And you look at that dynamic, you don't see this in no other race of music. You see Native American music, you see white American music. They're not referring to each other as B-words. They're not priding themselves on stealing other people's girls and disrupting their family dynamic. So now, once we had pride with achieving success within our own family, providing for our families, now we see pride in stealing another man's woman, and how many women we can get to achieve that will determine our status. So we're providing receipts, we're showing DMs when other girls are hitting us up, and this dynamic that creates tension within our own people.
Okay, the next song is Hot by Young Thug featuring Gunna, song from 2019. And excerpt of lyrics goes like this. He tried to diss me and ended on Fox. We call them chopsticks because they gonna chop. To a crowd of fathers because her pussy pop. I run it like Nike, we got it on lock. So the synopsis here is being disrespectful by dissing someone could cost you your life, making you a headline on Fox News. When it comes to strippers, by providing good sex, you can have your life change forever in the greater good. In relation to today, sending shots via social media is taken very seriously amongst people these days. Respect is something that not only the youth would die for, but the older generation as well. Showing signs of disrespect on platforms that are viewed by millions of people could tarnish your reputation and thus makes everyone hypersensitive to any type of slip.
All right, I'm sure everybody's heard this song on the radio. Megan Thee Stallion gained popularity for her Hot Girl Summer. So she's promoting this promiscuity in women, and that's when you see all these twerk videos and everybody's living their best life. They're saying they're having a hot girl summer. And we even see down at the CDC, I didn't even say, I'm Jordan Harris Spring 18 Alpha New Lambda down in Tuskegee, Alabama. So I was one of the, after the Tuskegee experiment, President Bill Clinton, the government donated a lot of money for there to be a bioethics honored research program. So the school chooses 4 students, I was one of the 4, and we did a lot of research, and like Yale and Harvard students come down, and we do a lot of ethical research. So we also work with the CDC, and we saw a huge influx, like an exponential influx in like STDs and a lot, and that also plays in part with the music. I took a class down there. It was actually one of my hardest classes. It was called Persuasion. So we look at how like lawyers persuade, how people in like cults, how do you take the Waco, Texas case, Jim Jones, and how I think there were two Harvard students who ended up drinking the Kool-Aid. So how do you take someone with so much intellect and change their thought process? And that's when we look at persuasion. I actually brought the book with me today. This Persuasion, if someone wants to take a look, and we look at the social learning theory, social impact theory on how music affects the way we interact today. So again, with this music, particularly targeting African American people, we don't see this promiscuity in other cultures. So I'm a teacher part-time for Dayton Public Schools, and you see a lot that you hear in the music, you're going to see that mirrored in the schools. So I'm also down at Withrow down in Cincinnati, and last year I was a teacher at Thurgood. This year I'm at Dunbar High School, and also at Withrow down in Cincinnati. And the language is the same, the actions are the same. It's all pretty much social learning theory and that social impact theory, where whatever I have in my surrounding that's influencing me is also going to impact my actions and impact my thought process. So one quote I remember in the class someone presented was Adolf Hitler said that if you give me the music of the youth, I'll control the nation. So a lot of the violence and negativities that we see, the maladies that we see in today's society comes from the music that we see. And this is another example of the promiscuity that we see in our women and our young girls, is that it says real as, real as, you give it, I want to remember in church. Okay, so you can read it. I forgot, my bad. But if you heard it on the radio, it's on the radio all the time, and then that's ingrained. That's what we call indoctrination. And we learn the science behind that in the persuasion class. So when you see that every day in these twerk videos, everybody's trying to do it better than the next, and then inciting the men, and then it gets more and more out of hand because these images that we see portrayed on TV that are influencing our girls, and this is what they're looking up to, as opposed to more positive images like the good times, family dynamic that we saw back in the day.
My apologies for cursing. I forgot this was a church as well, so I'll keep it very PG from here on out. So the next song is YNW Melly, a song called 223. The lyrics go like this. Heard he caught a body, but that does not mean to me. Got 2 on me, got 2 on me. Blood gang, yeah, Sulu on me. So the synopsis here is, murder of one person means nothing to someone who has 2 murders, obviously. Blood gang affiliation is also a stamp of approval amongst gang culture. In relation to today, gun violence is only getting worse in each generation, as it has become a way to put fear in others' hearts, get money, above all, demand respect. Much of the youth feel that a weapon is almost necessary, and therefore display them in videos on social media quite frequently. In places like Chicago, where the murder rate is the greatest in America, is a perfect example of where gun violence can lead to the overall structure of the city and its inhabitants. In gang culture, Bloods and Crips are still big today, but Bloods have it let almost anyone into the organization. That is why you see more rappers as Blood these days versus Crip, as they're more lenient gang code for the red side.
part? Okay, yeah. So the next song is Go Loco. So loco is Spanish for crazy. So my woman goes loco, slide on somebody with a 44, and she bounces like a Lolo, and then you know the song. So having a woman that goes loco from time to time, which is Spanish for crazy, when it comes to confrontation with an enemy, and then sliding on somebody with a 44, the handgun will be used if necessary. So in addition to her being crazy, you're also talking about sexual dancing. And today, men tend to dismiss women's true emotions and feelings, being loony, and they're saying women are seen as wild by default. So women are being promoted to feel like it's okay to be crazy. And gun violence is also heavy in the community. So when you see in the songs, like back in the 80s, hip hop didn't talk about shooting each other up, or like in the late 70s. And then when we start to put that more in the music, also with social learning theory, then it starts to become more prevalent in our society today. So I know like on January 1st, like there's a whole lot of my kids even at the school who they have like videos all on Instagram. Everybody has like, where y'all getting these weapons from? But the reason that we see that in our schools and in our young adults is because of songs like this and
Okay, the next song is a pretty popular song from 2019. I'm pretty sure you heard it, Ransom by Lil Tecca. The lyrics go like this. They see me blowing up, now they say they want some. I got 2 twin Glocks, turn you to a dancer. I got 2 twin pops, leave them on a banner. And I got 2 thick thoughts, wanna lead the game up. So, the synopsis here is, with more fame comes more attention. This means more haters and women. Carrying 2 Glocks is not necessary with all the fame, and if necessary, they will be killed and end up on a banner. There are also 2 voluptuous women who want to accompany the team. In relation to today, everyone in society today feels they have haters, which many call ops. Ops is short for opposition. This has created an environment where people feel that if you are not on my side, then you are on the opposing side, and a divide is automatically created when there should not have been one in the first place. My cliques and gangs today do not associate with anyone outside of their group, making everyone much more isolated and standoffish. Big dots are also seen as a product of some sort, a double header, if you will. By acquiring twins that are both promiscuous is somewhat of a bragging right.
Okay, our next song is by Blueface, Tatiana. Bust down, I want to see you bust down. You know the song. Also, pick it up, break it down, speed it up, slow it down, bust down. Okay, so that song is promoting, again, promiscuity. A thought is basically promiscuous woman, and that promotes this hypersexuality within our young girls, where girls are wanting to be seen as sexy all the time. It's wintertime at school and they're still trying to wear these crop tops. You know, I'm just like, y'all, in the morning, good morning, you're not cold. No, like we go through this every day. So, and I know like sometimes the principals have to censor the tone just for like barely having clothes on. So this hypersexuality is also being promoted in the music. I'm saying like just again, like a lot of the maladies we see like within our young adult culture is all being promoted. You can literally make a direct correlation ties to what we see and what we hear in the music and what we see on the TV screens. So in this Blueface song, the promiscuity promoted in younger ages now too. So a group of girls were trying to go to the mall, and they barely had anything on. They were wearing heels and stuff at like these young ages, and all this makeup and hair done and stuff when they're not even at that like adolescent age yet. So it's like starting off younger and younger and younger now, which is also causing discourse within the community.
The next song is a song by a gentleman named Shep West. Came out last year, called Mo Bamba, which is an NBA player. And the lyrics go like this. I've got hoes calling a young man's phone, where's Ollie? With the mother-ing dough, I be ballin'. Like a mother-ing pro, I be ballin'. Like my N-word low. I'm sorry, it's kind of hard to get through these lyrics. Like, they're kind of heavy at some part. The synopsis here is having multiple women again is a sign of winning in life. Also, by having a pole or a gun gives the idea that you're not to be played with, as death can be an ultimate outcome for any individual. Balling is also a common phrase in hip-hop, which basically means that you are getting a lot of money and living the best of your life. In relation to today, the overall message is a good one when trying to understand the intentions of the youth. Women, money, and guns are a big focal point when discussing what kids and some adults are most fond of in this world today. These have become a status symbol of choice amongst every race, age, and gender in hip-hop.
Okay, lean with me. Okay, Juice WRLD, he passed away December 8th. He overdosed at the Chicago airport, and it was an interview that came out after he passed away, and he was talking about how he started doing drugs at like the age of 13. It was because of the music. He listened to Future, Gucci, Oxycontin. Who wrote that song? Weezy, I think. Wayne? Yeah. Yeah, a lot of these songs are promoting this, especially this prescription drug use, and that's one of my thesis topics down in Cincinnati at UC, psychosocial learning. The title of it is an analysis of hip-hop culture and its impact on African-American adolescent recreational drug use. So what that study is taking a look to see the analyzing hip-hop culture and the lyrics and the images that students see on TV, and why students now, because even when I was younger, this is before like 2000, we didn't even consider using or misusing or abusing, which abusing is just the conjoined two words, abnormal use. So you abuse something that you don't have appreciation for or understand the value of something. So we didn't abuse medications. Now students, you can buy Percocets and stuff on the street, like go down Riverview, like all over the west side. You can like purchase these drugs that they're like selling a lot more now. And we also just had a few doctors that were in the paper for prescribing it way too much. So lean with me, pop with me, get high with me if you rock with me. Smoke with me, drink with me, jacked up my liver with some bad kidneys. Told her if I die, I'ma die young. Every day I've been getting jacked up. Finally know the difference between love and drugs. Shorty tell me I should really sober up. So that song, some people were saying that was a cry for help, but he was really just expressing his own emotions and feelings that he had growing up with the pain of growing up in an impoverished, marginalized community, also what we see on West Dayton, and trying to narcotize that pain with drugs. So that's being promoted more and more now. I know like in the past, it was a lot of celebrities that were always on the go. You see the Michael Jackson interview where he was saying that he was just, he hated touring because he was always awake. He would go from California time zone to Los Angeles, fly to Germany, have a show, then go to Japan. He said it was always back to back, so he said he just basically needed a little help from drugs to help him stay awake and alert, because the has to maintain his living also. So he's getting all this pressure to do that, but now we're starting to see it in our youth to turn to drugs, to narcotize their pains that they see from also growing up in a marginalized or disenfranchised community. So some of the stats that we had to So substance abuse among youth is at alarming levels today, and it's not slowing down anytime soon. According to the CDC, alcohol, marijuana, and tobacco are substances most commonly used by adolescents, but we are also seeing the growing prescription drug use, abuse. So some of the stats that we see, this is most updated on the CDC's website. By the 12th grade, about 2/3 of students have tried alcohol. About half of 9th and 12th graders have used marijuana, so that's 50%, and 40% of all high school students have tried cigarettes. Among 12th graders, close to 2 have reported using prescription medicine without a prescription. So the earlier a person tries substances, they're more likely to continue using those substances throughout their lifespan, and it's going to make it harder and harder to quit. So we're also seeing a lot more rappers around my age now, because we were more influenced by the older rappers like Gucci when we were growing up. So now the rappers that were hearing this music that are my age now, that have grown into adulthood, they've been dying left and right. Over the past couple of years, we've seen several pass away from drug overdose. And that all points back to the social learning theory, what we see in our music, what we see on the TV screens. I remember taking Persuasion. We looked at like the theology and the philosophy behind convincing and indoctrination and manipulation, propaganda. I remember studying the social comparison theory, social learning theory. They're all pretty interesting. If you want to take a look at my book, you can, because it's all like pointing back that dissonance. So like if I said my phone was green growing up and then someone tried to tell me that it's not, then it's going to be hard to convince someone that has believed something for so long that something is different. So like I see that in the hospital, if someone delivers a baby and they say, Big Mama told me that if I take a bath after I give birth, then I'll get really sick and I could die. That is actual theory, but there's no science behind it. So there's nothing I can say that even if I'm pointing out the science or giving someone voice and reason, that they're going to believe something I'm like trying to convey to them because they've been hearing it for so long. And that's the propaganda that we get from the music industries, where they play this music in our children's head for so long that they start to believe the like Tatiana and starting to take action on the words that they hear in the songs growing up. So we start to see a lot more maladies in our society, and it's kind of hard to change those overnight. And like a lot of teachers, we get pressured because they say we're not working firm enough with our kids, but there's a lot more that we can do, like in our homes and like within our churches and communities to get our youth more involved so that we can uplift them and empower them, so we can kind of curb those cycles of despair in our community and uplift more positive and proactive and more leaders in our society.
So that is the wrap up of the 10 songs that we discussed as far as hip hop effects. Now I wanted to kind of direct this to the audience. Is there any songs that you feel like are negatively impacting our youth today? How do you all feel about the impacts of lyrics on our youth as a whole? Yes.
Alright, so my name is Ryan Morrison. I think that contemporary hip hop is like it's at an odd place, and there's a lot of like conscious stuff, there's also a lot of dirt, but the dirt is good music at the same time, and it sounds good. I know you guys showed some of you guys doing stuff, and that's just like people in general. like, I think that, like, as far as that, we have to be more responsible with how that's, like, committed amongst the children.
For sure.
I know, like, for me, when I had my first child, I won't allow them to listen, like, any type of, like, music that doesn't have some type of positive message. They can't be around people that don't have some type of positive energy. I don't want that for children.
Right.
Because I feel like that's where we're at right now, as far as, like, in the present day. There's too many negative things that's keeping us down. And I think that we need to just, like, surround the new and fragile minds with all the good. So, not so they can necessarily not know the bad,
Right.
but they can be, like, immersed in the good. So that way they can emit good. You know what I mean?
100%. So you're saying even when they're exposed to negative music, grow up in an environment to where it's not going to impact them directly, something like that.
Yeah. So
Okay.
what I mean, because, like, I was around negative music too. I grew up on 50 Cent.
For sure, yeah.
In 2002.
Yeah.
So I never was shot, but I didn't went to jail. I got arrested for it. But that was just me being dumb.
Right.
I'm not a bad person. So, like, it's not just the music, it's about the person, it's about what you're around. But, you know, the music can, you know, take you off the edge. So.
For sure. Hey, I agree 100%. I'm the same way. I think how you grow up, it doesn't have to be determined by the music that you listen to or take in. So, great answer. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who has an input on just hip hop in today's youth? Right here.
My name is Cabria Welch. I am a teacher with Dayton Public Schools, and just as he said earlier, I see firsthand how kids can internalize this, and just thinking about when I was growing up, some of the things that they're doing in school and outside of school is like I wouldn't even think of these things.
Right.
So I think hip hop does play a part in like implanting those things in the kids' mind, because like who is thinking about Dirty Sprite at 11 and 12 years old, right?
Right.
But it's like being planted in their mind. But on top of that, I think this generation of kids, they are exposed to so much because
Exactly.
they are the tech generation. They have Instagram and social media. And so I think it is our responsibility to make sure we're monitoring what our kids are taking in. But just as he said, it also starts at home. It starts with what you're instilling, because if you have instilled values in your children, it doesn't matter what other things the world is bringing into them, and they have that foundation.
Exactly. Great answer. I agree with both those points 100%. I think how we raise our kids is so important that we shouldn't let 50 Cent or Future or Juice WRLD be the parents of our children. So I agree with those points absolutely. Right here.
I wanted to just comment on the radio stations that propagate the music,
Yes.
because it seems as though, like in our community, if you go outside of Dayton into a bigger city, you have more of a variety. You have some neo soul, some jazz, but here, really, the main station just plays the top 40, which is really just a you know, what is that, conditioning?
Right.
You know, because it plays it over and over and over again.
All day long, yeah. Good point. Good point. And a lot of stuff that's on the radio is going to be what's acceptable or what's in right now. It's not going to be any type of positive music. It's most likely going to be drugs, women, and guns. So that's a valid point as well. Anyone else? Right here.
I kind of had a...
You want to stand up for us, brother?
So my name is Jordan, member of Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. So I feel like this question is kind of like hard to answer, but not at the same time, because there are a lot of factors that go into just this whole topic, including, you know, music, who controls music, not us. I believe it comes from the top down, and it's about what they see as popular, and they're going to just regurgitate whatever, you know, they feel like is going to sell. So
Exactly.
it becomes a question of, are we actually educating our youth on like these things that are being said to them, or are we just letting it pass like, oh, it's like, you know, not a big deal and things like that. And there's also the question of like, do we know some of the things that are being said in music, and can we educate them on what's being said, because we don't know.
Right.
So it's like it's a miss in like that connection right there that leaves like the holes for just things to just, you know, just break down, and like behaviors to become whatever they not like what's really going on and what's being said in it.
Exactly.
So I think that that becomes the charge of, like different avenues, like educators, like are we utilizing some of this stuff like pop culture into schools to help teach them like in a roundabout way, like yes, this is present, but this is actually what it is. Like are we breaking down music and lyrics and like putting it in an avenue that actually teaches them something rather than just, playing it at a dance or something like that.
Exactly. So, very good point.
That reminds me, I think it's the comparison theory where there's a research that I looked at structured families, and it said that pretty much if you come from a more structured family, you're going to look at anything bad as like entertainment. So you could watch like Bad Boys, the movie that came out, but that's not going to like incite you to go or like play Grand Theft Auto. You're not just going to go stealing cars because you have like more of a stronger influence at home. So you can make that comparison where like this is right and this is wrong, as opposed to if you don't have the strongest structured family. And because of the lot more broken families that we see today, then students don't have that structure. Because even to get benefits and stuff downtown or go to the job center to get those benefits, a lot of times our parents have to work double jobs. I saw that a lot. I was a teacher. I had one girl, she had A's on all my exams, and I was known for, I had really long tests, and like, they were really hard, but I would get my exams from like Oakwood High School and my high school out in Centerville to like prepare them for that level, that rigor, so that they'll be ready when they move on. So one thing that happened with her is that her dad like had like another job, so he wasn't able to bring her to school and stuff, so he wasn't at home. And a lot of students have that where their parents are home a lot of the time, so then they rely on TV to kind of rear them. And with that dynamic, that creates people being inspired by like the music instead of like more of a family structure. One of the researchers showed that I think within the Baptist church, they said that students were less likely to like be involved in violence and with drugs because of that stronger influence. They're less likely than the like social norm because they have like a stronger positive influence. So that's why I was saying like it's important for us to be that positive influence and that stronger influence so that we can help like change those minds and like influence them. What I started doing is like a open gym over at Princeton during the DPS break, so Thanksgiving break, spring break, Christmas break. I had like students come. I was a teacher at Thurgood and Dunbar, so I had like Dunbar and Thurgood students, but then working out, we had like 100-something kids that like showed up from Belmont, from Trotwood, like everywhere. And like now we do that. We'll be back for a spring break. But like after we play basketball, then we just like have those discussions. Like to see what their mind is, and like, okay, so not from a punitive point, like, well, like you crazy or anything like that. I just like have an open and honest discussion so we can like feed off each other. I think that's another thing too, is not to come from a more punitive approach where we're like looking down on them like you're crazy, y'all need to be doing that. This is bad because then you won't maintain that open relationship. So like if you're like more chill, then like you'll create that relationship where students will look up to you and they hit me up all the time about this brand. We're looking for help with this and that. They need guidance. So it's just to be that mentor, that positive role model, so that they'll have someone to turn to as well. We have a question?
Yes, real quick, we got one more right here.
Okay, so, good afternoon. So I am an educator.
What's your name now?
I'm sorry, I'm Ari.
Ari, nice to
I'm
meet
a
you.
member of Alpha Kappa Alpha. And I am an educator, I'm an advocate, but more importantly, I'm a mother. And so to his point, when he mentioned how we listen to the music, but do we allow students or children the time to like unpack that information? So the difference with my son is that he doesn't necessarily prefer hip hop music, but I think about when I was in college and I had friends who they were sheltered. They didn't know anything about certain music, certain things, and so when they got to college, buck wild. So my approach with him is that we're gonna watch some of those movies. We're gonna listen to some of that stuff that has that language, because I want him to be in the dark or like not really aware of really what's going on around him, and then he can choose and say, well, I really don't like the music, so I'm going to listen to this instead, but just still having that exposure, because I understand that around his peers, if he's not aware or at least a little bit familiar, then you're looked at a certain way, or you looked at it as like, I want to say weak, but just kind of real disconnected, and maybe looked at as, trying to find the word, like maybe like gullible, or like, oh, you know, he's innocent, he doesn't really know what's going on. So it's like, no, I know what's going on, but that's just not my preference. And so also with my students, when I come in and I hear them, I'm also at Dunbar, and and so when I hear them mumbling some of those songs, let's talk about that. Do you know what he's saying? And so we'll break it down, we'll pull it up on YouTube, and they're like, oh, and just like the moment that you all have with the 10 songs, let's talk about that. And what does that mean? Do you even really know what you're saying? And so just being relatable, as you were saying, and just allowing that space to say, I'm not judging you, but do you know what you're walking around saying and mumbling and singing? And what does that mean to you in your day-to-day life? Do you really live that life, or you just think like, oh, this sounds cool? So allowing that space.
Absolutely. Good point. Very good point. All right, so we got right here. Did you have something right here? Okay, we're gonna let these be the last three, and I'll wrap it up. Go ahead, right here.
All right, Marcus, I'm just piggyback real quick off of what she said. Basically just talking about things with the youth. I remember when I was growing up, we didn't know what certain stuff was, chicken head. But I felt like, no, seriously, I feel like back then there were negative things associated with those. You didn't call a girl a bitch. I mean, my bad, dang, I forgot that quick. But you didn't call somebody a chicken head, or something in the community that was popular of a drug was, crack. You didn't want to do those things. So whenever somebody mentioned that, you didn't want to be around that. And now it's opposite. So I feel like we need to address that.
For sure. We need to get back to that, for sure, 100%.
Hi, my name is James Jones Ken. I work as a production manager with the Dayton Performing Arts Alliance, primarily the Dayton Philharmonic Orchestra. My parents, they both taught in Dayton Public Schools. They're both Black, and they raised me and my brother to, they raised us on classical music. Primarily, that's what we play as musicians, and we also were brought up on music of our culture as well. So I say all that to say that, to piggyback off of what she said, off of what Mark said, what Dory said, what Ray said, I think it also, what we put into our children's minds at a young age, let me go from there. So, with my job, I had a white conductor coming from New York, and he and I had a conversation about how African Americans are really the only culture who exclude themselves from the culture of classical music, classical arts in general. And I think some of the messages that we hear in classical music is actually more beneficial, more positive than a lot of what music that we hear in our culture. So like a lot of the musicians, a lot of the composers in the classical world who were white, they were of the Christian faith. And a lot of us in our culture, we believe in Christ. And so I think that a lot of what I grew up on, a lot of positive messages that I learned growing up, they're found in classical music. Now I understand that, African Americans, we're quick to say that classical music or classical composers, they're, the slave owners' music. And I understand that. I'm also doing my own research on that to really see why it is that we as African Americans exclude ourselves from classical music, but I just kind of put that out there for us to kind of ask ourselves, why do we do that? And why is it that we have music like this primarily that, stimulates our children's minds, and why we don't have more positive message music to raise them on?
For sure. That's a good answer. And I'm definitely, now you got me want to listen to some classical music now. I gotta check it out. I never gave it a shot. Last one right here, and we're gonna wrap it up.
How's everybody doing? It's Tyler, a member of Phi Alpha City Fraternity. I actually like what the gentleman said about classical music. I think we do have, a big opportunity to expand misogyny that unfortunately plays into a stereotype that's said. Because honestly, everybody listens to hip hop music, white people listen to it,
Exactly.
and you don't hear that same conversation being said. If white kids listen to hip hop music, are they shooting at somebody, are they being promiscuous and stuff like that? So I think a better conversation is to have, like folks said today, like mentorship and things like that, like actually being involved in our youth's lives and kind of, giving them that responsibility for themselves. When we blame the music, it takes off the responsibility from the individual from their actions.
Exactly.
So I think the better conversation would be around like mentorship and just being involved in the youth's lives rather than like trying to villainize hip hop music.
Very good point. Very good point. I definitely agree with that because when you just put it all on music, it's almost destined for failure because you can't control the artist and what they speak about. So, very good answers, everyone. Very good dialogue. Very good discussion. On behalf of De La Lambda, I ask that just when you go out here, you just try to at least give your all when it comes to listen to the music to maybe try to, talk to a young kid and let them know, hey, this is just entertainment. Don't let it go to your head. And that way we can possibly have a change as far as how we raise our kids in this community, listening to hip hop. Again, my name is Trey Hope, Jordan Harris. Thank you all for coming out, and we hope that you have a great rest of your